Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for us to have a discussion on Wuthering Waves version 2.7. Do a bit of a review factoring in the whole live stream experience and, of course, the patch notes for the update that we see over here. And first things first, I just want to get something off of my chest. I feel like either the live stream, the marketing, whatever, there seems like there's either like misalignment or it seems like some sort of potential wasn't really fulfilled. Because what I'm showing you on the screen is the version art for this update. And you look at this, right? Dawn breaks on dark tides. You know that this is supposed to be the final quest, right? The final part of the Ridacina arc. This literally looks like an Avengers Endgame Infinity War. This looks like a superhero movie poster. It looks insane, right? You see, like, the whole, like, Septimon, like, the whole, like, whatever, the new region in the background. You got Galbraith Chuyan up here, and then every single character that got introduced in the 2.0, in, like, the 2.x arc. It looks badass with the playable characters at the bottom, right? And then, as we just go through this patch, you'll notice, aside from there being 3 main quests, which is awesome, I think that's the main highlight of this patch, there's like almost nothing in it. You look at this, you go down here, there's 6 events. We'll just go ahead, let's start talking about it, let's start breaking it all down, and just give like our overall thoughts as to all the content in this update. I just talked about how there wasn't really that much actually going on. And the live stream basically confirms that, because this thing basically ended within like 34 minutes. And it felt like there was a lot of stuff missing. And the thing is, I can understand that, right? Because this over here, it feels like there's going to be story spoilers involved if they talk about it too much, right? You have the whole, like, Kartithia versus Galbraith showdown. Then you have, like, the conclusion of the arc over here. And then you've kind of got, like, a Chuyan after story. That's how he's going to be woven in, right? And then we're going to move on to the new region in 3.0, hypothetically. I can understand, you know, from that perspective, if this is a story-heavy patch, not having too much of it showing to avoid spoilers. But my, oh my, I feel like the end result is that there's not really particularly a huge amount of hype, because there's not really anything that we were really getting shown aside from like the characters and like 2 events in the live stream. So it's like, yes, maybe there's some actually crazy, amazing, ridiculous stuff that's going to be shown across these 2 quests. But right now, we're basically being asked, right, to, like, be ready for this version. It looks absolutely insane, and then we have just no real news at all about it. This isn't really a concern, and this isn't really a problem, just because it's a story-heavy patch. It's because the main content in the patch is just the story. And if they don't want to spoil it, well, let's see what else they talked about instead. We'll skip this whole Echo section for now and just talk about the actual new features that they added, aside from the story. So they got 1 hologram over here, Arsenosa. This looks great. This looks like it's going to be fun. I have no complaints about this. I think it's great that they're adding a new hologram every patch. Great. Excited for it. Can't wait for the False Sovereign. Then they go right on into the optimizations. And I'll agree over here, right? These optimizations are great for the game. They're going to give like a Resonator building guide, put some guide makers out of business. No real issues at all. I think this is a great addition to the game, especially for some of the newer characters. Updates to the gallery and then show off the enemies. And then also improve how quests are going to look. And, you know, have some opportunities for like some additional story stuff that shows up over here. Some side quests, blah, blah, blah. All of that. That's fine. I don't think anyone's really going to care about that. Or really, I think it's just like a positive add to the game. No real issues. Then they just go on into the new characters. We have all the rerun banners. We already have a video on that we'll talk about. Then the new weapons. Again, just like more advertisements for the banners. And then they just have only 6 events. This is an automatic event that you don't really have any gameplay for. You just spin the wheel. That's the low campaign thing. This is not really interactive. The rewards are nice, but it's basically a login event. This one is a login event. Let's just show them off. That's the login event that I'm talking about. And then there's the other login event that we get every single patch. So that's 1, 2, 3 login events, followed by a combat event that, while it looks fun, it's not really actually a combat event, because this is like... It's like Vampire Survivors sort of like gameplay where you like get upgrades and stuff and then like run around and then it'll like shoot the stuff. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. but it's basically like a non-Wuthering Waves minigame. So minigame, login event. Then they got the combat photography one, which I think is like a very casually oriented event. You like go ahead and then like, you know, do like your little poses and stuff and then like take the photos at the right time. Gonna be great for like the fun, you know, the more casual side of the player base. Casual event. Then they have a parkour event, the Septimont Weather Forecast, which is just another casual event. Every single update or like every single event in this patch, at least from what they've shown, casual fun combat event, login event, casual event, and then login event. It doesn't seem like there's anything to do in this update aside from this Solaris Soldier event, but that's like a mini game. Other than that, there's like nothing here. And so this is my take, and this is my copium. I'm praying that there are like additional events that are simply not being announced because they're linked to the story and they might be spoilers. That's my copium at the moment. Because otherwise, legitimately, what is there to do? You're asking this question, what is there to do? And remember, this is the version art for the update. Guys, this looks like it's going to be the craziest thing ever. This looks like it's supposed to be the best patch in the history of the goddamn game. This looks so hype. And then you go up here, you're like, wait, what is there to do? The final arc, the final patch of Raguna, Avengers Assemble, Thanos, and then half of the events are login events, and the rest are just casual minigames. There's 3 actual events. I really hope I'm correct. Have they ever even put this collaboration shit in here before? Merchandise, stuff like that? I swear to God, they never put these in the patch notes, but I guess they decided to this time because otherwise, it would have seemed like there was nothing else there. I swear, they never show this sort of shit either. I don't know. I guess the thing is for me, it feels like such a juxtaposition. It feels like such a mismatch. I got so excited at the beginning of this live stream, right? Because they went right into like the story overview. They showed all this crazy shit. Like the run-up over here was insane, right? Seeing like Rover meet up with all the different playable characters. They're getting ready to fight to go save the city. They get the Galbraina cosplayer, all of this. Oh my gosh. Then they show the version trailer. Looks so badass. Then they show off this crazy... This is the first time we ever saw it, right? I was like, this is going to be the best patch ever. This is going to be insane. And then you proceed to get met with throughout the rest of the live stream. Just like, I don't know. I feel like I've never been let down this much by like the start of a live stream and then like where it actually ended up ever before. I kind of would have preferred if like the version art wasn't cooking so much. I kind of would have preferred if like the trailer wasn't so good. I kind of would have preferred if they didn't even like have this super cool like introduction cutscene for all the characters, right? To get ready for it. I would have preferred if this wasn't there because it set the expectations so damn high for where I thought this was going to go. And it's just such a letdown seeing everything else that's in this update. I really hope my copium take is correct. I really hope that there's going to be additional events that actually get announced later based off the fact that they're actually tied to, like, the first half of the story. Kind of like how there's events right now where it's like, okay, we got the Moonlit Revelations, right? All of this stuff.
That's a story spoiler, because Yuno didn't actually die. Everyone remembers her, so that's why we're doing this event.
Right, I hope there's something like this that is like it's actually there and they just, you know, they're not putting it in for story reasons. Otherwise, I don't know, guys. This might be one of the most this could light up outside of the story. It could be considered one of the most disappointing patches in the history of the game. If nothing else changes and it's just story, because that's all this patch is. It's a hologram. I'm not even counting the Sonata set because it's just for Galbraina. It's just like building her. It's not really, I don't really consider it to be like groundbreaking content. It's a hologram and then a Vampire Survivors mini game. And then the rest is just very casual, not really like memorable stuff in login events. And if you're comparing this to 2.3 content-wise, guys, 2.3 content-wise and event-wise is miles ahead of this one. 2.5 is also, in my honest opinion, miles ahead of this one in terms of the content that it had. Unless Lament Recon Solaris Soldier is actually like the best fucking game in the is the best thing in the history of the game. these might be the worst events that the game has had, because I've never seen this little before. I've never seen this little before, and to like this casual of like a degree. We had the Echo Farm event. Yeah, the Echo Farm event was like a leisure one, and at 2.5 had plenty of other events on top of it. The second half was a little bit dead in 2.5. Guys, this is going to release in the first half. What's the second half for this version looking like? This releases in the first part of the patch. What's in the second half of this version? Lolo campaign? Lolo campaign, Ice Savior? I hope this is a shorter patch, too. Low key. That was also one of the saving graces of 2.5. It was a shorter patch. I hope 2.7 is a shorter patch, too, if this is how it's looking. I'm just going to be real with you here. I think having the story is nice, but it's like I don't think a story is like a replacement for quality events. And yes, the story might be absolutely amazing and all of that, but there's still a whole entire live service game on top of this story. And it just doesn't feel like we've hit a good balance over here with this one. I guess we'll quickly cover the other stuff. Zani's bad. Don't pull her. Lupa's good. Galbraina's probably going to be cool. Nobody knows what Chuyan does because the live stream was super vague about him. I think they're still working on his kit. What is it? We've gone over all of the quality of lives. The new Sonata set is made for Galbraina. If that's not pretty obvious right now by like its name, you'll just have like a nightmare nest to farm it. There's not really too much there's nothing to talk about in this damn thing. There's a reason why we're not having a podcast for this live stream. Because there's nothing, like, what are you going to fucking do? All you're going to do is just sit here and talk about how little there is to do. Look at this. It's 6 a.m., guys. I woke up at, part of this is also because I woke up at 3 a.m. for this shit. I woke up at 3 a.m. for 6 events. I'm a little bit disappointed. Maybe if I sleep on it for a little bit, maybe if you get my take in like a day or two, it'll be like adjusted and more positive. But I feel like recording the live reaction right now, letting you know how I feel about it right now, is going to be one of the most accurate things. Because what I'm feeling is also probably something that a lot of other players for this game are feeling as well. And I'm not going to lie, I think a lot of people are disappointed. So I hope there's some additional news. I hope there's some additional content. I hope that this isn't it for what looks like the most badass patch in the history of the game. Because what in the hell even was that live stream? And what in the hell is even these events? And what in the hell is even this goddamn update? I've never been so let down before by this company. This, to me, is like, if you thought the anniversary was disappointing, this feels like more disappointing than the anniversary. Maybe that's a bit of a hot take, but that is mine right now, immediately after having seen all of this. Final hot take. If you factor out the impressive amount of story that's supposed to be in this update, and you just look at all the other content instead, this is my take. I think this might be the worst patch of all time. I think it's worse than 2.3. I think it's worse than 2.5. I think it's worse than 2.1. I think it could be the worst patch of all time without the story. And that's the unfortunate part, especially when you've got the coldest, the most impressive version art we've ever seen. And that kind of sucks. That'll be that for this one, ladies and gentlemen. That's our patch overview. I know this was probably not in the direction that you expected it to go, but what other direction can it go when this is what you have in the goddamn update? There's nothing.